everybody, good morning. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I just wanted to address my last video that I put up. I had put the borders on my orange peel quilt, and I had it up on my design wall here. Well, as so many of you told me, you sound very tired. Oh, I was tired. It was no big deal for me to come into my sewing room, check out my new machine, and put my borders on my quilt. But what have I done? I have folded this baby up and I put it aside because I was asking, oh, how will I quilt this quilt? Do I send it out? Sending it out will cost about $300 because it's a very large quilt and I wanted a good batting, which is fine if I had the money right now, but we don't. And I do not have the energy to quilt this, so here it is. I don't, as you know, if you've been following, I don't like to have works in progress or unfinished quilt tops ready. And I have now about 5 of them, but since I've not been well, it's fine. I've folded that up and I'm a little bit happier. I have rested. Thank you so very, very much. I'm going to be doing a very Cliff Notes review on my new sewing machine, and I wanted to do it now because as you can see, hopefully, I've actually received the extension table. This is a Baby Lock Jazz 2, and I had ordered separately from the deal that I got from the manufacturer who sent it to me, which I will show you what comes with. I received the extension table the other day. The extension table is from Baby Lock. It is not quite as large as my other extension tables. I had a few other plexiglass tables that sort of came out to here. This one, but it's adequate. When I'm sitting in front of the machine here, it's absolutely fine. Again, Baby Lock Jazz 2, huge, huge machine. Very, very, very heavy, basic, simple, mechanical machine. The reason I got this machine is because of the throat space. I have several Jukies, which are awesome, which are fantastic. I have a mechanical Juki and a computerized Juki, but the quilting space in this machine is very large. This throat here is 12 inches. Now, I was looking up. This machine is it's called a quilting machine, sort of made to go on a frame that you would get handles out here and sew on it like that. I'm just using this as a regular sewing machine in my sewing room. Again, very simple. It has only, and I say that, 27 decorative stitches, which is fantastic. When other computerized machines perhaps have 200, the 27, wonderful. I think this is a combination of my Juki and my 2 Jukis, which is a straight stitch only, and then my computerized stitches for my satin stitch, my blanket stitch, my zigzag stitch, things like that my other computerized. This does both, but very simply. I like that very much. Now, the first thing I did do is I had gone to several YouTube videos, and also I belong to a Facebook forum, a private group, talking about their Baby Lock Jazz 2 in specific. Now, the general consensus is not controversial, but you either love this machine or you hate it. People are like, throw it away, send it back, terrible machine, worst machine ever. So it's interesting, the reviews, and I got looking at them, and the major point is, and I did this at my unboxing video, the major talking point about this machine, 2 different things. It's the threading, the tension, and the bobbin. Well, let me just address the threading. I'm not gonna give a threading thing. I may do that in future, but I'll start with the bobbin. The bobbin, you have to use the proper bobbin, which is was it a 15, class 15 something, and everything I read, you have to wind the bobbin taut so it's not squishy, the thread, and you have to wind it exactly to make the bobbin work. Now, there is a diagram here how to wind this bobbin. And it's a little bit funky, I have to admit it. But the threading and the bobbin one is just slightly different, but every machine is different. Every machine, every single machine threads differently. This one absolutely threads a little bit funky. You just have to get used to it, right? So anyway, with the bobbin, you come over here into this guide, you have to go through this little hook here, you have to go under a tension disc, and then there's a little rod that you have to go, and then also, which something I've never done, I actually put the thread up through the hole, right? And then I found the little slot, and I slotted it down. I mean, every other bobbin, I've just sort of like done this and then hope for the best, right? But this one, I'm thinking, oh no, it's gonna screw up, it's gonna mess up. So I did that, it wound perfectly. I always hold the bobbin thread a little bit tight anyway as I'm threading a bobbin. So that was fine. First time into my bobbin cage, which again, you have to look at the instructions or a tutorial and see exactly how you thread your bobbin into the cage here. The threading of the machine, there is this funky plate with two little things hanging up. Never saw it on I've had dozens of machines in my sewing career. I've never seen anything like this. So what? This is how the machine is made. And then again, there were forms. I've gone under, I go over, I go through, I go to the left, I go through the right, I go to the front, to the back. My tension's all screwed up. I'm like, there's a diagram how to do it. Okay, so I did it. It is a little funky. Then you have to catch this thing. Usually you thread through here, through there, up through the take-up lever and into the needle, right? Well, I did all this funky stuff. I went down, I was very careful, following the diagram, and it worked perfectly. It does not have an automatic thread cutter. It doesn't have any of these bells and whistles. It doesn't have an automatic pressure lifter upper. You have to do it manually. I love that. Even on my computerized machines, you would see me do that, or come around the back here. I like that very much. It does have a needle threader, but it's a manual one. And I've never done that. I've never used that. I find it, my 60 plus years of sewing, I find it easier to just thread the needle either side to side or front to back. So I imagine that would work fairly well. The thing I do like about this, and I will turn it on, is how bright it is. This machine has apparently 6 LED lights, and look at that. Now I do have, when I sew, I'll put it around here. I won't do it, I'll just do it. I do have this OT light, as you can see. This really does light up my project, wherever way I want it when I'm doing it. So I have that, but on my other machines, I've had to purchase at the like Home Depot an LED strip light, which was no big deal. It adheres to the underneath here, and then you have the cord, and then you plug it into the receptacle, which is fine. But this, I don't need that. I don't need that. This machine is so very, very bright. It was very helpful going on the Facebook forum for this machine. Again, lots of naysayers, but the people that love it absolutely love it. The instructions were like, the whole thing was like, read the instruction, tips and tricks to this machine. Read all of the caution, all of this. So I did that. I don't think I've ever read a manual in my life. I was like, oh my goodness, I'll read this instruction and reference manual. Now, I got this machine, I should have addressed this in the beginning. I got this machine sent to me from California, from mooresew.com, I believe it is. I'll put it on down here. It was a promotion, I believe. It was $800, free shipping, everything included, plus the extra feet that I had gotten. Now, I had gotten this quilting and embellishment kit. It has I'll put a picture up here. It has the beading foot, open toe, free motion hopping foot. It does come, let me just see this. It does come on the thing that makes the free arm. It does come, I saw, with a plastic hopping foot in this lot here, and a few feet, your zipper foot, you know, standard things in this part, but this little kit comes with a non-stick Teflon foot, I suppose, to sew leather or vinyl. It's a good thing. An extra wide open toe decorative stitch and applique foot, a braiding foot, the 1/4 inch patchwork foot with guide, the stitch in the ditch foot, which I'm not very good at stitch in the ditch, so I could probably use that, the fringe foot, shirring foot, 3mm narrow rolled edge foot, excellent for tiny little hems, the 6mm wide rolled hem foot, a symmetrical 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch guide foot. What's that? I don't know what that is. That's number 12. I don't know what that means. This thing, what is this? That looks like no. Symmetrical. I don't know what that is, but it's interesting. And then an open toe walking foot. It does come with a walking foot, folks. Oh my goodness, I can't get it out. But it comes with a walking foot, which I'll probably never use. And I know everybody's saying, use your walking foot, use your walking foot. I probably won't. Oh, it does come with a knee lifter, presser footer, upper lifter. My Juki came with that also. I don't know where it is. I put it over there. And you put it here. Again, I believe my thighs are a little bit too heavy, or I'm a little bit too wide, because I've tried it and it's very cumbersome for me. I would be sewing and the presser foot would be lifting up. I'm like, oh. So I don't use that, but it does come with that. Again, all of the sort of goodies, standard goodies. Now, it was interesting because this table here came with an actual pin with little tiny holes in the table. My very, very, very first video that I ever made on YouTube, go back to it, my first video, my son came into my sewing room with a camera and he said, "What are you doing, Mom?" And I was appliquing circles with a specialty table on my old Husqvarna Viking machine that I had to purchase. Even back then, what, 30 years ago, that table was like $60 for the table that had the holes in it. You put the pin, you put your fabric in, you put the pin through the fabric, and then the fabric pivots and the needle just goes around and you applique all different size circles. This table came with the pin, came with the little holder here, and instructions. So that, I couldn't believe it when I opened the box. I thought, oh my goodness. Now, I think you want to know, how does this machine actually sew? And what I do like about it, what I don't like about it. What I don't like about it, although I'll get used to it, it's fine. It's a little noisy. Somebody said they're loud. And I'm used to my Juki, which is very quiet for the amount of stitches. My mechanical Juki stitched 1,500 stitches per minute. This is 1,000 stitches. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Again, very simple. It just has a stitch selector over here. It has a button lever for the tension that you can put on the presser foot. You can raise it. Apparently this machine will stitch through 8 layers of denim. I haven't tried it. That's good. And then of course the decorative stitching. It just has the stitch length, the stitch width. That's pretty much it. Really a very basic sewing machine. For $800. Now, is it a beginner sewing machine for your 13-year-old who wants to start sewing? Probably not. You probably want to spend $200 at Walmart or a big box store for a sewing machine like that to see if they like it. Do you want to spend $5,000 on a machine that has tons of stitches? Do you want to spend $15,000 on a machine that will walk your dog and watch your windows? If you have it in your budget, awesome. I think this machine, for what it is, my other machines are now like $1,400, $1,500. I think this machine that I got in the deal with the feet and the free shipping for $800 is really good. but it's only as good as its stitches. So I just want you to hear this, the way this sounds, and I'm going to address something that you're going to notice when I stitch. Now I have a hunk of fat quarter here in brown, and I'm sewing with white thread, of course. Second. And now it has a needle up and a needle down. I'll put my needle down. Right now I have it always in the up position. I'll leave it down in my fabric here, and I'll turn and I'll come back using my presser foot. And I have this set, the stitch width at 2. I quite like stitching patchwork or piecing my quilt pieces at 2. But if I go up to 2.5, I'll show you close up of the stitch quality. This is a normal 2.5. Again, put the needle down, presser foot up, and I'll do another wider stitch, or longer stitch I should say. Needle up. And let me tell you, and I will show you, front and back, the stitch quality out of the box is absolutely fabulous. Now I know a lot of people, oh my gosh, throw it out the window, it has tension issues. As you can see, the stitch quality for a very tight stitch, for a normal stitch, and for a rather large stitch is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm not saying that those people don't have issues with their machine. They might have gotten a lemon or been messed about, but I find it very, very good stitch quality. The one thing I do not like about this machine, and it's not really the machine's fault. The first thing is it's 27 pounds. Oh, a lot of people don't trust the handle. You probably could, but you should pick up a machine anyway like that. It's heavy. This is not going to your quilt retreat. This is not going to your little craft afternoon. This is going to stay put on a table. I have a fairly flimsy, thin, it's not a folding table, but it's not a substantial table. This machine on this table, not the machine itself, but on this table, I feel, even using my yoga pad, which I always use a yoga mat to ground my machine, to absorb anything, this table is not strong enough. I do not think if you got the machine and you put it on a folding table, you know, the ones, $30 ones from Walmart, I think it would be all over the place because it bounces around. I believe Ian is going to be making me, when he feels better, like a nice substantial wooden butcher block table with strong legs. I think that will make a difference. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's not bouncing like that, but it does move a little bit, but I believe it's the table. So be aware of that. Either have it on a desk or a countertop or a nice heavy dining room table. And again, I always advocate using a yoga mat under the machine to absorb it. The other thing I don't like about it, and it's not a big thing, but there was a lot of talk about it in the forums, was the actual bobbin. Now, the bobbin lid is plastic. It does have markings on it. It does have like a guide, a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and other lines in there. But the plastic little lid that goes in the bobbin case, I mean, I don't understand. They put men on the moon, right? Why can't they get these lids to slot in easier and better? And also, when it's on, it sort of rocks back and forth. And what, to my mind, I hear, and it was an issue raised by several people, that the bobbin, even though it's a proper fit, and I have it inserted and the stitch is beautiful, the bobbin sort of jumps about and you can hear that. I brought Ian in and I'm like, oh, the machine is loud and this bobbin, I'm like, hopefully it's not break. He said, it's a nice sounding machine. It's just how it sounds. And I believe baby locks are not known for being real quiet machines. So go figure. It's not affecting my stitch. Once I get it, well, I don't even have to dial it in. Everything is working beautifully. The needle up, the needle down, the back stitch, the back thing, my tray, everything is working nice. I quite like the machine. As I said, if I did the threading, thread it perfectly. So much of it they say is user error. I had mentioned that before, that people aren't threading it properly because it's a bit funky. You know, this plate here, what the heck's that for? I don't know, but it's okay. I threaded it properly, did my homework. Sometimes the diagrams in an instruction manual, those black and white diagrams, aren't as good as like feedback from a forum or from a YouTube video. So I would absolutely suggest, if you're interested in purchasing this machine, to go do your homework. For what it is, a nice, heavy, versatile. You can put it on a frame, as I said. I believe they're called cutie frames, and you can actually use it to do a long arm, although the frame is only so wide, so you'd have to figure that out. I like simple. I've had $5,000-$6,000 computerized machines, which were awesome. I've had Kenmore and Singer. I've had 3 brothers. Now I have a baby lock. I've had the Husqvarna. I've had 2 Jukies. Let me see what else. Oh, I had what did I have in England? I had some machine in England, and it's what it is. I think it will be super once I get perhaps a sturdier table, but when Ian has the time. Real quick, Ian is feeling better. He went to the doctor this morning and it has a follow-up next week. He's getting some blood work done from his incident. He is going to be making some changes in his scheduling and not doing as much. We had a real wake-up call with his little mini stroke that he had. And again, all your love and concern for my husband was really appreciated, and for our dear Maxwell also. Maxwell's doing okay. He's observing the stress around us, and we're trying to keep him calm, so he stays on a good path, not with his seizure disorder. So it's all happening. I'm feeling better, thank you. Again, I apologize for that video I put up. I was like, how should I quilt this? I should have put that up, because usually like, where's our cheerful self? I'm like, I was tired. Anyway, I like my machine. I like this very much. I think it's a good machine. 800 bucks. It's not inexpensive, but in the realm of sewing machines, it's not that expensive. So again, all plastic. It's just a mechanical plastic machine. But I think I'm going to enjoy this very much. So that's my sort of a small review of my Jazz 2, my baby lock. So I hope you've enjoyed this, folks. And again, thank you for everything, all of your love and your prayers. Really appreciate it. All right, folks. Have a lovely day.